Hi, this is Ed from ScoreFlipper.com. Today I'm going to show you a couple of the tools and utilities that we've built into ScoreFlipper Publisher Web. Some of these may be aware of, some of these you may not. So just like to show you what's available there, which are helpful for certain situations. The first thing here to see is down here at the bottom of the screen we have a bunch of our tools and utilities right down here. I'm actually going to start with the second one, which is our contact link. So with contact, help is always just a click away. When I click on contact link, let's say I'm having a problem, I'm not really sure what to do, this is going to go ahead and send an email. I use Gmail, so it's gone ahead and opened up my Gmail program, and it's filled in the support email address, a sample subject. You can really put in anything that you want, and then type us an email and send it off, and we'll try to get back to you very quickly. I'm going to go ahead and close that window and go back to our main screen. Second tool that we have here is our help files. So I click on help. You see it actually opens up a new window. It didn't get me off of the main screen. I designed this to open up a new tab. So we have a couple of different categories here on our help, a bunch of frequently asked questions. The first thing I do is kind of look for which category am I interested in. So I have a question about the ScoreFlipper player. Maybe these frequently asked questions are going to cover it. So I just click on here. It's going to shoot down. You can see there's a whole bunch of questions that we've gone ahead and pre-populated here. So if I click on really any of these, it's going to slide right down to the question, try to make it so it's pretty easy to navigate through the help. If I want to look up a term, what is a PNG file, here it's going to give a little bit of information. Here I just hit the close help window, and that gets closed. We also have some tutorials on how to do common tasks, such as editing, creating new folders, creating new ScoreFlipper files, editing them. These are actually YouTube videos. They're embedded right into this page. So I just go ahead and hit play, and then I can learn about how to adjust my global settings, how to do a basic score that has an MP3, how to edit a score. So these are all right here for your use. The next thing that I want to show you is some of our release history. So over time you'll see more and more releases here. This is our first release of ScoreFlipper Publisher Web, so there's just one choice here, and give some details about some of the features that were released at that time. So for example, we have a usage log as one of our features that we've rolled out. It gives an explanation of what the usage log is. So I have a calculator here. This is a specialized calculator that we've built for ScoreFlipper. In the rare event that you actually choose to edit the ScoreFlipper XML files directly, actually the need to do that is pretty remote these days, but for some reason if you needed to do that, sometimes you need to switch between milliseconds and minutes and seconds. So here, if I know I wanted my page to turn at 3 minutes and 25 seconds, that's going to go ahead and give me what the millisecond count is. Likewise, if I want to go in the other direction, let's give another 0 there. It's going to go ahead and give me 7 minutes and 5 seconds. We also have a usage log. This gives you details on all the work that you've done. As you can see, we've been very busy. Was it an edit of a score? Are you creating a new score? What's the name of the score? Here's a link that will actually open up that score so you can view it, the date, time, IP address of who created it. So if there's multiple authors working on your scores, you can see who has done what. If I just want to see all the edits, I can just click on Edit. It filters out all of the creations. If I click on it again, it shows everything again. If I want to see all the work that was done on this Score Trumpet Overture, I click on that. It filters out all the rest. So this is kind of nice. So those are our tools that we have along the bottom. There's some other tools that we have here. For example, let's say I'm in the middle of editing a score. There's a couple of ways to get back to the home screen. I can actually click here, or really anytime you see this large bar across the top, I can actually just click on the words and it'll bring me back to the beginning. So if you find yourself in a place that you don't want to be, you just want to start over, just click there. Okay, there's a few things that I want to show you here as part of creating a new score. So let's make believe we're creating a new score. I'm not going to go all the way. I did want to show you a few things. Obviously we have these tool tips. You've probably seen these through the videos. I didn't call them out too much, but if you put your mouse over, I'm not clicking on the mouse, I'm just putting it right on top of those words. It's going to give you some information about these items. Down here on the bottom we have a little bit more information. So you see these are actually, there's an underline here. If I click on this, it's actually going to give me a little bit of help on the score scale size. Instead of doing a trial and error, you can actually click on here and it shows you how the scores look on the screen. So here's a score at 50%, just a picture I've pasted in. You can see it looks pretty small relative to the screen. And here's 75%, so the music looks bigger. 100, I marked this in red just because 100 is kind of one of the default views. We actually use 75% for our scores, but I did mark 100 here in red just as a reference. 125, it's getting bigger. 150 is even larger. Now you can see here the watermark is always the same absolute size. It looks like it's more and more of the page as the page gets smaller, but this watermark is actually the same size on each page, and this is part of the independence of watermark and of page size. So when I created this, the watermark was always at 100, and that's percent of its size, not of the page. 90% darkness and a single watermark, and the page went up and down between, you see, the 50% and the largest size. So that's kind of nice instead of doing a trial and error. Similarly, we have watermark scale size. Here you can see this is using our logo as an example at various different sizes. Our logo, the default size is 200 pixels wide and 104 pixels high. If your watermark or image is different, then the sizes, when they're shrunk or expanded, will be different as well. But you can see here the relative sizes of the watermark. Last thing I wanted to show you was, we have these three watermark types: single, tiled, and none. We actually have an image here that pops up that will show you the difference. Actually, it looks like we're having a little problem with that right now. But in any event, you have none. Tiled would show the watermark across the entire page, and the single just in the middle, as you had seen over here. So, oops, that's not what I wanted to show. Here's the single. So each page gets the watermark right in the center. With the tiled, it would take that watermark and just show it across all over the page. It would cover the entire page. So if you use the tiled, you're going to want to make it pretty light, or else it kind of defeats the purpose of trying to show the music. So that's really what I wanted to show you today. Hopefully this gives you an idea of some of the tools that are available. I'm going to click on the bar here again to get back to the main page that are available.